This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Jack Threads. Coming up on Destructoid, we finally got more than 18 seconds worth of information on Crysis 3. Max Payne requires all of the gigabytes, and call me crazy, but I think Activision might be working on a new Call of Duty game. All that and more right now on Destructoid. Welcome to Destructoid.
I'm Tara Long. That's my line. My line, Max.
Welcome back, Tara.
Oh, hey guys.
Welcome back.
I'm back. Feels good, man.
How was it? Did you have fun?
It was great. I had an awesome time.
That's great.
Anthony filled in on the show.
Just read the thing.
What? Huh?
Just read the thing.
Anthony has been put down, and Adam Sessler has left G4.
Oh shit! Really?
Those were our talking points for the intro. Really?
Hey, G4.
Oh jeez. Why don't you get on to the news?
Okay,
Max?
we're going to be actually talking about. I don't know if it's going to be COD blops, but possibly, definitely some COD. I'm not sure if we have blops in there today. We're Call of Duty.
Every news story.
There's some news about that. That'll be in the second half of the show. But first, let's talk about Crysis 3. Okay. So a few weeks ago, Crysis 3 was a thing that no one was talking about or paying attention to, and then suddenly an announcement was leaked, and all of a sudden there's just a huge flurry of Crysis 3 news. And on Monday night, Destructoid's Hamza Aziz went to a preview event and got to see a little bit of the game in action, and he came away with a few details about what's new in the threequel. For starters, Crysis 3 takes place 20 years after the previous game, and this time players are taking control of the returning character Prophet, who's sort of a side character in the previous two games, as he infiltrates New York City yet again. However, this is a far cry from the New York of Crysis 2, as the Cell organization has placed it under a gigantic nanodome to contain the remnants of the Ceph alien invasion, obviously. A side effect of the nanodome is a literal greenhouse effect, causing the ruins of Manhattan to resemble a tropical jungle. During the demo, Crytek showed off a few of the game's new features, most notably the compound bow that we've been seeing Prophet using in the trailer. Unlike other weapons in the game, the bow can actually be used to take out enemies while in cloak mode. Of course, this is only with the regular arrows, and using stuff like explosive tipped arrows will make Prophet's cloak turn off and he will blow his cover. There's also a new gun called the Typhoon, which apparently fires 500 rounds per second. Hamza said it was cool, but pointed out that a shot with the bow took an enemy out with one shot, whereas the Typhoon took almost half a clip. Prophet can also now use Ceph weapons, but the only one that got shown off was called the Heavy Mortar, which fired missiles and plasma grenades. Woohoo, that sounds regular. Prophet will also be able to hack electronic devices, but the hacking system sounds like it'll be more of a short loading bar instead of any stupid mini puzzles or anything like that. The only portion of the game that got shown off in terms of geography was a section of New York's Chinatown that has been turned into a swamp. The devs actually talked about there being grasslands and canyons, and the word sandbox was thrown around a few times, but none of the gameplay shown really reflected that. Hamza came away sounding pleased but still skeptical of Crysis 3 simply because very little was shown off and the game is still a while away. You can go read Hamza's full preview of the game over on Destructoid.com and also check out the interview he did with one of the devs right here on this very YouTube channel right here.
Our little Hamza.
Yeah, that game.
So grown up.
That game's not coming out until like the beginning of. That's like almost a year away.
Yeah.
Beginning of 2013. I heard February, but that's.
I wouldn't count that as a reason to be skeptical about it, but.
Well, it's just like there's nothing to be skeptical of.
Yeah.
It's too soon. So.
Well, a game that's not coming out a year from now is Max Payne 3, and if you are one of the many who is looking forward to playing it on your PC when it comes out May 29th, you might want to consider upgrading your hard drive. Rockstar released their PC specs for Max Payne 3 a couple days ago, and as it turns out, you are going to need all of the gigabytes. Like all of them, by which I mean precisely 35.
35?
Yep. To be able to run the game, you will need at minimum a dual-core 2.4 gigahertz processor, 2 gigs of RAM, an NVIDIA 8600 or better graphics card, and a whopping 35 gigs of hard drive space. Of course, no self-respecting PC gamer would own a system with a mere 2 gigs of RAM. So Max Payne 3 is set to support up to 16 gigs, as well as an 8-core processor and a top-of-the-line graphics card, which I can only assume makes real life all that much more depressing once you turn the computer off. Rockstar also announced that the 360 version is going to be shipping on 2 discs, which actually seems pretty light considering L.A. Noire was, I think, 20 gigs on Xbox, and that shipped on 3 discs. So I don't know how that works out, but apparently it does. To go along with that news, they listed some pre-order bonuses for the PC version. I'm not going to list them all since they're mostly just variations of each other. But the main one is Steam, obviously, and if you pre-order the game on there, you will get both Max Payne's 1 and 2 for free, as well as a couple multiplayer DLC packs that'll get you 8 playable characters, 3 special weapons, a slot for extra painkillers, and a avatar that resembles the original Max Payne, which is cool for about 5 seconds until you remember how creepy he looks. No offense to Sam Lake or anything, I've just got a weird thing about eyeballs. Yeah, it's weird. I don't want to look at it.
Okay, so this next little announcement falls somewhere between a PSA and a WTF kind of story. Apparently, the multiplayer portion of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is going free to play on Steam this weekend. Yeah, considering that the game has already made more money than anything else has ever in the history of products and commerce, it's not like Activision's really taking a crazy gamble here, but it still comes as a surprise. This will officially begin tomorrow, Thursday, April 26th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and anyone on Steam with the PC that can run this can just preload the game, and then they can play it. This raises the question, though, could this be Activision testing the waters for a free-to-play Modern Warfare? A few years ago, it would have seemed like madness, but in February, we reported that a chunk of Killzone's multiplayer was going free-to-play, and in the past few weeks, we've seen the surprising success of Tribes Ascend and Blacklight Retribution, and then there's Firefall coming along later this year, and then there's Dust 514 somewhere else down the line, and that's just a few of the free-to-play shooters that are coming along. Back in my day, the only decent free PC games were Soldat and MapleStory, and I had a shitty computer and I was poor, so that sucked. But if you somehow missed out on the whole Call of Duty craze, now is your chance to check it out, again, on Steam, on PC this weekend. We've got a few mysterious details that seem vaguely associated with the next Call of Duty game, but first, why don't you tell us some things, Tara? Tell us more things.
Yeah, I've got some things. Actually, for the 3DS, which is really exciting. It's been a long time since we heard some really awesome news for the 3DS, unless you count last Friday's new Super Mario Bros. 2 announcement, which I am not even acknowledging on the basis that I was not here to report on it, so it does not exist. Anyway, this news is not nearly as exciting by comparison, but it looks like both Cave Story and Mighty Switch Force are going to be getting some eShop updates soon. Cave Story will be getting yet another remake. This one's going to replace the current DSiWare version. It's also going to add every feature from every version of Cave Story thus far, including all the extra levels and content from the Steam version, Cave Story Plus, and the WiiWare versions. It's also going to offer support for widescreen and stereoscopic 3D, which is cool. Mighty Switch Force, on the other hand, is getting an update that's supposed to add 5 brand new levels. It's also going to improve the game's 3D effect and insert a quick retry option into the pause menu, which is apparently a point of contention that some people expressed in their reviews. No word yet on when these updates are going to appear on the eShop, but hey, free shit. Reading this actually reminded me that I need to go download Cave Story from the eShop. There's so much good stuff on there. I was playing Pushmo on my car ride down the
Pushmo is the jam. I love that game.
Awesome.
The game is very cool. But hey, speaking of free shit, this show is free shit, and it's only free shit because we have sponsors, so let's take a word from our sponsor.
Good idea.
There comes a very special time in every young man's life when he realizes he needs to get his swag on, and I know this can be a very difficult thing to talk about, swag. Thankfully, we have Jack Threads. Paying ridiculously stupid amounts of money for clothing is a thing that should be reserved for ridiculously stupid people and also Ja Rule, and since I know that none of you guys are ridiculously stupid people or Ja Rule, listen up. Jack Threads is an invite-only shopping club that offers distinguished, elegant clothing and accessories for the sharp-dressed modern gentleman at up to 80% off retail price. They are constantly adding new stuff. Right now they've got iPhone cases that look like Game Boys and Famicom controllers, some cool bracelets and belts with bullets on them, and a ton of spring and summer clothes. There's also the usual selection of shoes, sunglasses, wallets, hats, and watches. Normally there's a wait list to join, but if you head to jackthreads.com/destruct, you can check it out right now. It's totally free to sign up. It helps support our show, so go buy some board shorts, bruh, at jackthreads.com/destruct.
You know, I'm a little offended by your assertion that Ja Rule would never watch this show. Rappers like video games?
Attention, Ja Rule, if you're watching our show, please leave one rap song in the comments.
One rap.
One rap.
That's enough. Maybe 0. He's not very good.
Oh, come on, Ja Rule, please leave a rap in the comments. Let's get back to the
show. There's been a lot of talk about Crysis 3 lately, but the shooter that's undoubtedly on everyone's mind right now is Call of Duty. The new sequel is getting its official reveal next Tuesday during the NBA playoffs, but we've gotten a glimpse of some viral marketing in the meantime that might suggest the new game's setting. The future! Where this kind of thing happens regularly, I'm assuming, I don't know. If you head over to callofduty.com, you'll see an area with a bunch of little classified windows in it. One has a mysterious Tacitus logo on it, and another one has an embedded video on it, which if you click it, takes you to a video from FPS Russia. you know, YouTube's famous mega gun lord. Everyone knows who he is.
Hello, my friend.
In the video, he can be seen sporting a Tacitus shirt while showing off his prototype quad rotor gun, which is essentially a tricked out air drone with a submachine gun attached to it. It's controlled by a tablet that provides video feed of everything that the drone sees. And if the last 30 seconds of the video are any indication, it also comes with a pretty sweet self-destruct button. There's definitely a car casualty there somewhere. The video later ends with FPS Russia saying, quote, "Please use your Russian voice, Max."
Looks like the future's going to be a lot of fun. We can't wait another 15 years. My friends are telling me this baby might be in the next Call of Duty game.
Thank you, Tommy Wiseau. So obviously this gun is going to be in the next COD game. I don't think anyone would argue that. But the fact that it won't exist for another 10 to 15 years suggests that we won't be returning to the 1960s setting of the previous Black Ops. Yeah, logic. We can also assume that the word Tacitus is going to have some meaning in the game, perhaps as a weapons manufacturer, or perhaps some sort of futuristic special forces group. I'm not really sure.
I did a tiny bit of research on that, and Tacitus was, in addition to being a Roman historian, I believe, tacit also means like silent, like sneaky, you know, when something's tacitly acknowledged.
Right, yeah, like tactical.
So maybe it's like a sneaky thing, you know?
Yeah. Probably. I hear there's lots of sneaky
tassels
things.
everywhere.
What do you
just
think
little
about,
tassels.
you know,
Call of
COD
Duty in the
being in the
future?
future? Kind of uncharted territory.
We are in the
here
future currently, you know. And Uncharted, that is not uncharted territory. Uncharted is set in current day.
Okay.
I don't know.
understand your
I'd love to see it really super far in the future, but that's just me, and that's why we have shit like Crysis. I'm pretty sure they're going to keep it more or less reined in.
Yeah, I
probably running some future tech would make sense, but
if they went too far into the future, I don't think it would really have that Call of Duty quality to it, you know? It'd be a little bit too far out there. But it would be interesting to see some of the cool tech that they just completely fabricate in this, because now they don't really have to have any sort of sense of realism about it.
I think it'd be cool if they use this as an excuse to just bring back, like, you know, Unreal Tournament. You know, you get like teleporter guns and sludge cannons and.
Hey, it could be
Hey,
like that.
What if you're firemen? You know, they have a Call of Duty too.
Sexy firemen!
Backdraft the game.
You heard us, Activision.
They all hate us on the internet now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, you and I aren't really military shooter people, but we asked our resident Call of Duty fanatic, Jackie Talbot, what she said, or what she thought, rather, and all she said was, "I'm stoked as fuck." But it could have been stoned as fuck. I'm not sure. I don't think I heard her quite right. Either way, given the number of classified boxes that are still empty on that page, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more viral videos before the game's official reveal on May 1st.
Viral videos.
So yeah, that's very exciting. COD. Blocks 2,
certainly exciting.
possibly. I'm afraid that is all the time we have for today's show. But before you leave us, go check out the Dragon's Dogma video that he did over on Rev3 Games. You played through the demo, right? And shared your impressions?
Super fun. It's so fun.
I'm gonna get on there tonight or tomorrow.
It's exciting. You could ride a griffin and stab it in the anus.
Ooh, nice. Also, Tribes Ascend is a video game that came out recently. Maybe you saw our producer Zach's review of it over on Rev3 Games also. Well, Destructoid.com has teamed up with the developers of Tribes Ascend Hi-Rez Studios to give out 10,000 codes for the Spin Fuser gun, which is kind of the quintessential gun of this game. Normally you have to unlock it through XP or pay for it, but we're giving them out for free because we're super nice. There's a whole bunch left. All you have to do is visit Destructoid.com/elephant/redeem_code.phtml. We're gonna have a link in the bottom of the description.
That's a lot of letters to learn for the kids at home. A friendly reminder, though, we're going to be back live on Friday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, like we always are, usually, right here on youtube.com/dtoid. So make sure you're subscribed to this friggin' channel. But, you know, we're also going to be doing another live stream tomorrow on Twitch TV. That is happening on twitch.tv/Rev3Games, and we're going to be live. Not right here, but over there on the couch from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. Again, that's Rev3 Games. That's the Twitch TV name. So just
we're on so many
we're
places
on, a lot of things.
on the internet.
But wait, there's more. I know it can be confusing. Honestly, I know some people aren't into Twitter, but one thing that's really good is it's a great way to keep up with what's happening and what's happening, the things that happen. The official Destructoid Show account on there is @DtoidShow, and you're not supposed to say the little @ thing, but I still say it because it's cute. But we're also there on our personal accounts. I'm Max Scoville, and she's Tara Longest, and that's what we do the things.
You almost said you were me.
I got it backwards.
Because I have more followers.
But yeah, we're going to see you guys at 5 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow night over on twitch.tv/Rev3Games, and be there or be forever branded a coward and a traitor.
I don't know what we're playing, but I'm going to win.
You suck, Tara.
I'm
Welcome
win
back.
so hard.
I missed you.
That's